Pastor Jason here with another Bible Talk, and now you're entering into the book of Kings. First Kings, Second Kings. It was originally one big book. You got season 1 and season 2. Okay, so you're going to be reading this over the next couple of weeks. You're going to see some good guys in this. You're going to see some bad guys. Remember, in the book of Samuel, Israel was introduced to the monarchy, this idea of kingship in the kingdom. And you read about David, you read about Saul through this, the rise and fall of David in this too. And when David dies, his son Solomon becomes king. And so you're going to read about that in First Kings, right? Chapters 1 through 11. You read about Solomon. He starts off so great with integrity. God gives him all this wisdom, and he, of course, writes the wisdom literature that you're going to read later with the Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, the Song of Psalms, Song of Solomon, and just the wisdom there in chapters 6 through 8. As Solomon starts building the temple. Remember, God told David, you're not going to get to build the temple, and I'm going to give it to one of your descendants. Well, that's Solomon. Solomon starts building the temple in the pattern of the tabernacle. And of course, the tabernacle, has all this imagery back to the garden, of, just gold and flowers and trees and angels. And, it's just this time where God dwelt with mankind. So this major theme before the fall, right? And so the temple is supposed to be a picture of that, of God dwelling with his people. So Solomon starts off great, starts to, fall, starts to his downward spiral. He marries these women from all these different countries, and they bring all their false gods into Israel. And Solomon doesn't stop that, and so idolatry just spreads everywhere. So Solomon's a picture of just someone who starts off great, doesn't end well. And right after Solomon, it starts to break off into this civil war between the northern tribes and the southern tribes. It's just this split in two of the kingdom. Northern kingdom is called Israel. Southern kingdom is called Judah. And you're going to read about just the different capitals they built. The north says, we want our own temple and we want our own capital. And Judah says, no, we want our own. So basically, the rest of the book, as you're going through it, is just different kings and a whole line of kings, right? That's what you're going to be reading about. Just generation of kings, some of them good, some of them bad. Actually, most of them bad, that bring their own gods in. They worship after other gods. They're always compared to David, like they weren't a king like David. But it does leave you with this feeling of we need something more, right? And then enters in the prophets. And I love this part of the book. I hope you do too. 1 Kings 17, you're going to read about Elijah. And Elijah is just one of those prophets who stands for the Lord, says, I'm calling you to worship God and to worship God alone. And he'll call out anybody. His enemy, his nemesis is Ahab, right, as you're going through this, and just this battle, incredible battle you're going to read about in chapter 17 and 19. But that's how First Kings kind of is a snapshot of it, but all of it leaves you with this feeling of we need a better king. We need a better king. And of course, the Bible's pointing you to King Jesus. Hope that helps. God bless. We'll see you next time.